think it's going to be very, very tough. I think I had my lucky charm. I was actually 7 months pregnant at the time, so I think they took pity on this poor lady walking up and down in heels, and they gave the prize to me, maybe.
Well, we are looking forward to bringing you 3 fantastic races on the opening show of Race to the World Cup. So watch this preview on what's more to come.
A night of fireworks is expected ahead of us at the Dubai World Cup when equine legends collide. 9 elite races are packed with intensity and nail-biting excitement. Some of the world's finest horses have arrived in Dubai, each of them competing for a share of one of the richest prize pools in horse racing history. The battle begins with the Dubai Kahila Classic. Talal Al-Khalidiyya returns to Meydan to defend his title. However, the challenge is daunting. The Al Reef Stables duo Mubid and Unleashed have been in top form and are ready to challenge the reigning champion. Will Talal etch his name into history, or will a new king be crowned? After that, we have the ultimate test of stamina, the Dubai Gold Cup. The longest race of the night welcomes back Trawlerman, the Godolphin star who finished 3rd last year. But his stablemate Dubai Future, who stunned the crowds with his spectacular performance under Sylvester de Souza, could get the better of him. Will it be a Godolphin-dominated finish, or is it a shock in the making? Who will crack the code of the Godolphin Mile? Expect the unexpected. The Godolphin Mile is shaping up to be a thriller, especially after Fort Payne pulled off a stunning upset over Oasis Boy and the other contenders. Adding to the unpredictability is King Gold, returning to the mile after a disappointing attempt at longer distances. Anything can happen in this high-stakes race.
Well, we've got plenty to go through here in this half an hour slot. So we will take you through the runners and riders for the first race. It's the Kahila Classic Group 1. Horse number 1 is AF Makam. Horse number 2, Asfan Al-Khalidiyya. Horse number 3 is Jafar. Number 4, First Class. Horse number 5 is Canal de Faust. Horse number 6 is Mubid. Number 7 is Najib Al-Zaman. Number 8, Sunny Deloop. Number 9, Tariq. And of course, horse number 10, one you've all been waiting for, Talal Al-Khalidiyya. Horse number 11 is Unleashed. Number 12, Vika Green. Horse number 13 is Vizir. And horse number 14 is RB Malexis. And last but not least, horse number 15 is RB Mary Leah. Now, Cassie, this is one of my favourite races of the night, so it's actually a shame for me that it's one of the first races of the card, but I'm really looking forward to it. And you must be well acquainted with Arabians now, working at Abu Dhabi Racecourse.
Well, you actually took the words out of my mouth, because this is also one of my favourite races that I'm really looking forward to, because, yeah, at the Abu Dhabi course, I MC on their race nights, and so I'm really getting to see these Arabians. Where I come from in Australia, we don't have Arabian racing, so I'm really loving learning more about them. And I do have a couple of favourites in there that I've been seeing in the flesh, but I must admit I'm really looking forward to Talal Al-Khalidiyya, just to see what he can do. Can he back it up? He is the highest rated runner with 129 beside his name, so he does certainly pick himself. But I've got such a soft spot for a few of these others, like the First Classes, like the Sunny Deloops, those sorts of horses that I do get to see at Abu Dhabi.
Well, exactly. And a horse that stunned us at this time last year is Talal Al-Khalidiyya, and we can watch him winning the Kahila Classic 2024 here for you as well. We have a replay, and this was a very good race. And all eyes were on Asfan Al-Khalidiyya, and then it kind of changed up a little bit, and I wasn't expecting Talal Al-Khalidiyya to become victorious in the end.
I don't think many people were. I think his stablemate was a very short-priced favourite. He was well backed in international markets, and he was expected to be doing the job. I think he'd come into the race unbeaten as well. So the fact that Talal was able to topple him by 6.5 lengths, also, he didn't just win by a small margin. He really put it to them and came out victorious in a determined fashion.
No, exactly. And honestly, when I was working in Saudi Arabia, it was that season, and Everyone kind of brushed off Talal Al-Khalidiyah, and they are brothers, and the Al-Khalidiyah bloodlines in Saudi Arabia are very strong indeed, and that just went to show it. So he has won 4 races this season alone, so hopefully he can prove himself yet again to show it wasn't a fluke, and he is indeed better than his brother Asfan.
He almost doesn't know how to lose. I think he's been beaten on 3 occasions, and they've been seconds. He's gone back home to Saudi Arabia, as you alluded to, and he's been doing the job so brilliantly there. I don't think he will be beaten. He draws in gate number 8. He won from gate number 2 last year. It'll be interesting to see if that makes any real difference to him or not. But certainly if he's going as good as what he did this time a year ago, I think he'll be hard to catch.
I think he will be as well. Another runner is Tariq for the Yas Stables Syndicate for His Highness Sheikh Mansour. And the racing manager, Claude Piccioni, had a few words on him this morning.
How are you? Good morning. Yeah, I hope we got all the support from everybody. Tariq is in good form. He's been prepared for this race, particularly. We decided that a few months ago to go with him here in Meydan. He will have some headgear for this race. We're going to put the blinkers on to follow the place a little bit more easy. So we're pretty confident.
Claude, Tariq started on turf, and after that also you mentioned that he did great performance on the dirt surface. Do you think that he will compete well and acclimate well on this surface of Meydan?
Yes, of course. Yeah, no. He won in Allen on a mile on the dirt. Then we came here, we finished second in the Maktoum Challenge, 3. And, you know, it's a big ask for the horses to run the first time here in Meydan, and they did pretty good. That's why we're pretty confident. I know the opposition is very strong, especially from Saudi horses, but we're pretty confident.
Claude, before taking the decision, you had also Jinan with Tariq and also Ajrad.
Yes, the 3 good horses we had is Ajrad, Jinan, and then and Tariq. Ajrad, we know is more on a turf, and it was a late decision if we come here, but it was in between Jinan and Tariq. So we bring them here, we have a good gallop, and we realize that Jinan doesn't like the dirt. So we kept Jinan for the turf and for next season. And we went on a dirt with Tariq. That's what we decided, because we need a runner on a Kayala Classic.
Well, best of luck to all the connections of Tariq in the Kayala Classic. I'm sure he will do well for the Sheikh Mansour team. And Maxime Guillon rides him for the first time as well, so that'll be an interesting pairing. But the horse that he came second to in the Al Maktoum Challenge Round 3 is a horse I want to talk about, is Mubid. What do you think about him, Cassie? What was your first impressions of Mubid winning that race?
Well, winners are grinners, and you've got to have, I think, that winning form coming into arguably the biggest Arabian race in the country. It might not be the biggest race in terms of prize money. His Highness the President Cup has that in the Abu Dhabi Turf Club. But in terms of eyeballs on the sport, on Arabian racing, this is the race that you want to be in, and you want to be coming in with that good form, which Mubid does have. And he is best on the dirt as well. We get to see his best performances on this surface, which is going to be another ace up his sleeve.
I've heard a lot of people saying this was a fluke, he wasn't meant to win this race, but Dr. Jabir Bitter, the trainer he has unleashed in the Kayala Classic as well, seems pretty confident in his chances.
There you go. He might just be one of these horses that all of a sudden the penny is just dropped. Dr. Jabir Bitter must have, tried something different and extracted the best out of this horse, and they might have just timed it to perfection for the biggest race, the Kayala Classic this weekend.
Exactly, and Arabians are so unpredictable. You could have champion Arabians, and if they're having a bad day, they'll come to the track, they'll come last. They're just so hard to predict. So from an analyst point of view, I mean, you can look at all the races that you want, but it depends on the horses how they turn up on the day.
Exactly, the mood that they're in when they turn up on the day. But also, if they have that little bit of a confidence boost, which he has, I think that can go a long way as well. You know, they get another gear kind of thing.
I love that. Well, someone else that I spoke to during the week is Sylvester de Souza, who rides a Jaffa for Musaba Al Mahari. So let's listen to what he thinks his chances are.
Efton's doing well in the trainings, and Musaba's happy with the horse. I saw him the other day. He feels well. He's been quite busy this year, but you know, he's a lovely horse, and he has done everything good in the tracks. And yeah, it'll be a tough race, but he should be there about it. You know, it feels great. You know, obviously. He done one gallop already. Nice as a gallop, and he feels good. Feels in good shape. He's one more gallop coming before the big night, and no, he's in good shape.
Well, Sylvester de Souza is a man of few words when it comes to talking about his horses. But I want to move on to horse number 8, Sunny Deloop, who was second in the President's Cup behind Heroes de la Garde at Abu Dhabi Turf Club. So you witnessed that firsthand. And I mean, Hero de la Garde, no one was going to beat him on that day, was he?
No, absolutely not. And that is the richest race. It was a 5 million dirham race. And so the fact that he was second in that performance, Sunny Deloop, I feel like he's been around for ages. I've only been here 13 months, but I feel like he's been here forever. And I think because he's a ghostly grey, you certainly spot him. And so I definitely have a soft spot for this horse. He needs to do better than what he did this time last year, though, as you mentioned before. He just wasn't in the right mind frame last year, perhaps, but this weekend, hopefully he will be.
I will say, though, I will miss Bernardo Pinheiro riding this horse. I think they got on so well. If you look back on his form, Bernardo just really gelled with this horse. And he's under new training now, Fahad Al-Hajri, so best of luck to them in this race. Is there any other horses that you're particularly looking forward to in the Kahila Classic?
Yeah, First Class. He's definitely one of my horses that I love watching because he's, well, 6.5 million dirhams that he's earned. He's no slouch whatsoever. I feel like he's in a purple patch because, yes, I know his best runs of late have been on the turf surface, and this is the dirt. So that's a different story. But I come back to that confidence thing. Maybe he's just back in that zone. He's an 8-year-old. There's 2 8-year-olds in the race. Jafar is the other one. So he's, you know, he's an old boy, but he's still got plenty of miles in those legs.
Exactly, and I'm a huge fan of First Class as well. At the beginning of the season, I did a feature on him with his breeder, Deb Mahalov, and they're just great people, and they're not afraid to enter their horses in tough races like this. And Arabians also seem to get better with age, so I can't wait to see not only what he does in this, but what he does next season as well.
Well, that's right. You know, I said he's an older boy at 8, but you know what? He's just a spring chicken at 8. He's fine.
Exactly. So up next, we will take you through the runners and riders of the second race of the day, which is the Dubai Gold Cup Group 2. Another race to look forward to. And we'll start with horse number 1, Al Nair. Horse number 2 is Continuous for Aidan O'Brien, the only Aidan O'Brien horse this week. Horse number 3 is Double Major. Number 4 is Dubai Future. Horse number 5 is Epic Poet. Horse number 6 is Passion and Glory. Horse number 7 is Straight. Horse number 8 is Trawler Man. Number 9, Term of Endearment. And number 10, we have Trafalgar Square. Only 10 runners in this renewal of the Dubai Gold Cup. I was struggling to find angles here, but I think this is a race set up for Godolphin. I think they're going to dominate in this. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 1-2-3 Godolphin.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to politely disagree with you because I think Aidan O'Brien doesn't just travel horses for the fun of it, right? He's maybe only got one runner of the whole night. To me, that kind of says a thing. I love 3,200-metre races. I love 2-mile races because back in New Zealand and Australia, the big races, the Melbourne Cup, which is over the 2 miles. And I'm looking for a true stayer. I know Continuous hasn't seen out the 3,200 yet. He's only done the 3,000. But I'm really excited for him. So it's going to come later. I know we're going to say our tips a little bit later on, but yeah, we'll go head to head. So
we'll look back at Dubai Future winning the Nad Al Sheba Trophy. That was always a good one. He is the oldest horse in this race, and if you can see on the racing replay just how well he won the Nad Al Sheba Trophy. He's actually not my Godolphin pick in this race. I really like Passion and Glory. I think Oisin Murphy is a great booking for him. and he came second to Silver Knot in the Dubai City of Gold as well.
Yeah, I think he was rated as a bit of an outsider in terms of what people, bookmakers in the international stage are sort of thinking. But he's obviously booked his ticket through that race because Silver Knot's not going to be there. So the Dubai City of Gold is a key lead up for that. What I love about Dubai Future, though, is he's had 427 days between runs, and he came out and he won like that. That was incredible. I think that if he can come out and win this race, it's going to be such a sensational story. Passion and Glory as an outsider's hope, only in my opinion, I know not in yours, would be a great story as well. I think we're going to find a brilliant winner. Regardless of who wins, I think there's going to be a wonderful story to come through from it.
Absolutely. And we're going to take you through the runners and riders of race number 3, which is the Group 2 Godolphin Mile. That is always a treat. So we'll take you through that. Horse number 1 is actually a non-runner. That was declared this morning that horse number 1 will be a non-runner in this race. Horse number 2 is Fort Payne. Horse number 3 is Kazu Petin. Number 4 is King Gold. Horse number 5 is Little Vic. Horse number 6 is Mendelssohn Bay. Number 7 is Mestri. Horse number 8 is Mufasa. Number 9, No Lunch. Number 10, Oasis Boy. Horse number 11 is Peptide Nile. Number 12 is Carib. Horse number 13 is Raging Torrent. Number 14 is Sadity. Horse number 15 is Steel Sunshine. And number 16 is Sword Point. Really looking forward to this race. And we can bring you a replay of King Gold coming first in the Firebreak Stakes. What did you make of that race, Cassie?
Brilliant. You know, to run down Laurel River like that, that's a feather in his cap for sure. Obviously, we haven't seen him since, but if there's any pace that's going to be up early on, and we've seen him finish off the race like that. I mean, look at this. Laurel River, it was looking like he was going to be doing the Dubai World Cup all over again. He was out by a country mile. And just look at where King Gold comes from. He comes absolutely flying. Can he finish off like that again this week?
I was stood directly on the rail for that race, and I thought, even after they crossed the finish line, I was like, oh, Laurel River has this race wrapped up. I was so shocked to see that King Gold managed to get his nose in front of the last year's Dubai World Cup winner. I think this race is absolutely amazing and just is such a huge form boost for him.
Oh, absolutely it is. And look at this. What a thrilling finish. I hope we get some finishes like this on Saturday night, because they're the ones that you love cheering for and you get so excited, like you're riding the horse yourself.
Well, we all do love close finishes like that. And we will hear now from Doug O'Neill's assistant trainer on Raging Torrent.
It's the big kid that we have in our stable, and we're very pleased to have him. And he's ready. Let's pray that he gets a better trip, and we should be right there, though.
And him as well, how's he been taking to the track, taking to travelling? Has he come out well from it?
He is like me. He likes to eat, so he's no problem on that situation. So once I see he's eating everything that he has back on the stable, we're happy because he's training really good, though.
Are you guys worried about gate draws, anything like that, or are you just taking it in your stride?
Well, here it's kind of difficult. I know like 2 years ago, we've been coming so many years, the kickback is kind of tough on horses. But I heard it is light up a little bit, so now it's probably not that obstacle for us right now.
I am really looking forward to seeing how Raging Torrent gets on. He is an absolute bull in the mornings, really impressed me. And we can have a look back at Fort Payne coming first in the Berge Nahar, which is another one for the French contingent. And yeah, so he's proven himself on dirt and turf.
Versatile type. I would love to have a horse that could go both turf, dirt. You can flick between the two. He booked his passage through that Berge Nahar, so he absolutely deserves his spot in the Godolphin Mile. If he happens to win, he will claim that $100,000 bonus for his connections, that bonus scheme that the DRC have put up. So they'll certainly be cheering for that 100%. They will. I hope he goes well. I really do.
I do as well. And of course, we have to mention Mestri, who won the Almac 2 Mile for Michael Costa. I've become a huge fan of Michael Costa this season. I've really been shouting for him to win the trainer's title. And Mestri was really nice in this race. He beat Carib, and he was 8th on Super Saturday. But do you think that was just an off day for him?
Yeah, potentially. I do think that Michael Costa, great guy, absolutely great guy, and you'll have plenty of experiences with him at Jebel Ali with your work, but he needs a win this Saturday night to just make sure Musaba Mahir is not going to catch him in the Trainers' Championship. So I'll be cheering for his two hopes in the race so that he can get across the line.
Exactly right. And you can just hear the battle here between Meshtri and Karib in the final closing stages. Ben Cohen was on board at that time. And I really hope that Michael Costa and the Jabal Ali team can become victorious on World Cup night. That would be amazing scenes. I always love to see a local winner. Speaking of more locals, we will hear from Abdullah bin Muammar a little bit on Mufasa.
Mufasa came here to Dubai from a month ago. He's a horse that won a Group 3 on his last start. I think he's a horse that will improve next year. I think he will need the run this race, but we think he has a good chance.
Is he going to stay and continue on for next season?
Yes, hopefully he'll stay and for next season, and we'll see. Like, will we point for the sprint races next year or for the mile races?
And best of luck to Triple R Racing with Mufasa. I cannot wait to see him. And speaking of horses we cannot wait to see, let's have a look at our predictions for these first 3 races and the Dubai World Cup as well. I know that you had some keen underdogs here, Cassie. Well, thank you very much, Cassie, for joining me on a race to Dubai World Cup. It has been absolutely fantastic. And I hope you can join me tomorrow for the next 3 races. I'll be joined by Veronica Ask Fresu, and I am looking forward to taking you through the races.